Belgian Malinois. He's an explosive detector dog, so it means just that. He is trained to detect explosives. So we're going to run through a little bit of obedience here. You saw sort of a little demo while you guys were waiting for the whole thing to start. What we've done here is we've set up some equipment from our obedience course. We're just going to show you how we normally take the dogs through, run them through the obedience course, teach them commands like down, sit, stay, and the heel, etc. So if you want to go ahead and kick it off MA3, show them what we normally do for them. So you notice he gives the dog a heel command. What that means is the dog is in the left side of the handler, right at that knee. That dog has to maintain that position at all times. Notice he can walk at different paces. He can pick his pace up as necessary. He can even walk backwards. The dog knows once he's given that heel command, that's where he stays the whole time. Notice when he turns his body, the dog is turning with him. So you you'll notice when he does the task correctly, he gets that calm reward out of his pocket. So when NWs execute a task correctly, they want to get paid, right? Because this is supposed to be fun for them. This is supposed to be a desired behavior. When they do something that they're supposed to do, they have to get paid, they have to get rewarded. That's what that toy is for. Notice the handler says the yes word, which is a release word for the dog. Lets him know, hey, task is done, you're going to get your toy, it's time to have some fun. And then we just repeat the process over again. You notice you can tell the dog to go to down position. That's all fours on the down, on the deck. Tell the dog sit, which they go from all fours down, back up to 2. Now you notice he has to step away from the dog, right? Dog has to stay in that position. Dog has to be obedient to the handler. There's a lot of stuff going on right now, and that dog's brain is probably going haywire, but he knows in order to unlock that Kong, he's got to stay right where he's told to stay. He can give him directions from far, the down sit, and the recall heel, and the dog will follow it each and every time. And again, he unlocks that behavior, he unlocks that reward with the yes command. The dog gets the toy, the dog knows he did well, the dog wants to do it again. Half of our obedience course, maybe not even that, probably a lot less, but we utilize tunnels, we utilize stairs, we utilize hurdles, windows, everything that these dogs are supposed to be obedient to. We want to make sure they're obedient to the course itself. So you'll notice he's going to give them some command to run through the short course again. Again, dogs paying attention to the handler at all times. Dog goes through. You see how he looks right back at the handler? That's how you know that dog's being obedient to the handler, not the course. He knows he's supposed to go back. Dog does a hurdle. And right back to the handler position. Now, if the dog did good, the dog gets the reward. And essentially we'll repeat that process over and over again. We'll build onto the course, maybe make the tunnels longer, maybe make the hurdles higher, but eventually trying to progress the dog to higher levels. They're only trained at the bare minimum from Lackland Air Force Base, Texas, and it's up to us as handlers and trainers to make sure these dogs are being pushed to their absolute limits. Now what we're going to go through next is a little bit of detection work. Like you said, we got explosive dogs and drug dogs here on base. A lot of people ask, well, why do you guys use dogs? Why canines? Look at the dog's nose, right? It's very long. The dog's nose is actually 40 times greater than our own nose. The way I like to put it is we all know what pizza smells like. Well, the dog is able to smell every single ingredient in that pizza, rather than just the pizza itself. That's how strong their noses are. So if there's something in that pizza that shouldn't be in that pizza, the dog's going to know, and he's going to find it. So for today's demonstration, we're using potassium chlorate. It's nothing more than an oxidizer. It's what the dogs are trained on. It's one of the numerous explosive aids that we're trained on. This is a hazmat training aid, so it's completely safe. What he's going to do is he's got 3 boxes lined up here right now. One of them right here has the aid in it. This is the aid the dog is trained on. The dog is going to sniff each box, and he's going to tell the handler which box it's in by that smell, and he's going to let the handler know. Go ahead. He's going to unlock it with the seek command. Seek turns that dog's brain on and lets him know, hey, it's time to start working. It's time to start looking for aids. Dog's going to look. Dog's going to sit. Dog's going to get paid. And that's how we know. That's how we know it's our time to sort of get on out of there. Our dog sits. We don't really want to be anywhere near that aid or anywhere near that explosive device. So because these dogs are smart, right? Especially Tybor. Tybor's been in this game for 9 years. He knows the game. He knows that if he goes back to that same box, it's probably going to be there, right? So what are we going to do? We're going to switch it up a little. We're not going to let him look. No, we want the dog responding on the aid itself, not the concept of the dog. So, me in the middle. Good. Hopefully you'll know the next one. Sits it, then sits. Go ahead, MN3. See? Dog goes to the first box. box. He knows it's not there. He knows that's not what payment is for. He knows what the payment gets. He knows what gets him paid. That little look right there. A little change of behavior, we call it. Dog sits, dog gets reward. In this vicinity check, we're going to do it one more time, just to make sure that dog really isn't trying to play the game. We want to make sure that he's responding on that aid, not the box that it was in. So it's in the very left one, right over here. Dogs on these odors. Normally we won't use these boxes for anything but demonstration purposes because they're great for that. Normally what we'll do is we'll find places around the base, empty buildings, filled buildings, wherever we do. We're going to play hide and seek with the dogs. So it's basically this on a much larger scale. And it's a lot more fun for the dog. They can work longer, they can search different areas. This is a very basic understanding of how dogs imprint on odors. We haven't even imprinted a dog on a new odor. Up to those bigger buildings, and we'll train in those bigger buildings on base. If you got any other buildings, let us know. Love to use them. Alright, so we're going to go into a little bit of patrol work here. Since you guys are going to get to see somebody finally get bit. So, you'll see Tybor's a little bit engaged right now. He's looking at the decoy. The decoy's got a big fluffy shoe on. Shoot him protection, but you're still going to feel every bit of that bite. So what he's going to do is we call the spy feed. We have to know that the dog is going to be obedient during the whole thing. Last thing we want is for somebody to get bit who does not want to get bit. So we're going to start with the interview phase. Real simple, compliant subject, talks to the handler, comes up to the handler when he's down, and he's going to just take the handler's hand and give him a quick conversation. Right? Now the goal here is for the dog not to bite. We do not want to bite. We have a compliant subject. Again, we don't want anybody getting bit who doesn't want to get bit. Hence the railings, right? Safety is our number one priority. The dog needs to stay in that position. He can make movements around the decoy. He can pat down the decoy. The dog needs to know that unless you give him that keyword,
decoy back up. Stay. All right.
Now you're about to see the keyword.
Middle.
So he's going to rile the dog up. Now you guys
Decoy, come to me.
fight.
I'm good. Send that dog. Send that dog, man. I'm scared of him.
Right there in that pocket, that's what we want to see. That nice deep bite that you see there, that's what we want to see. So you notice the decoy's struggling, right? But eventually he's going to want to give up. Nobody wants to get bit by a dog. So the dog's got to come off that bite. You have to make sure the dog gets released. So the handler's going to give the command.
Out.
Heel. The dog's going to spit that out. Again, you don't want to get bit. We don't want you to get bit. So we have to be able to out. We have to be able to stay. What's the most important critical task? Now let's look at the scenario a little bit. We got the non-compliant subject, right? Somebody who doesn't want to listen. He decides to take off, but halfway through, he decides, I don't want to get bit anymore. I changed my mind. So he's going to stop dead in his tracks. He's going to give up with his hands in the air, and the dog is going to stop. Right there. Because again, you don't want to get bit. We don't want you to get bit. Go ahead, show him.
Decoy, come to me.
Now good.
Watch it. Harley. Hold on to this one, dog. Get him. Out. Sit.
That's when the dog's brain turns off. He needs that help from him. He knows it's time to fight. Now what do we do with the dog that does the right thing? We gotta reward him. We're not gonna use the cog. Again, watch that tail. See that tail? That thing's going a mile a minute. That's how you know the dog is having fun. The dog is welcome to see you guys. If you guys have any questions, we're going to hang out for a little bit. You guys are welcome to ask us questions. We ask that you don't try to pet the dog. Don't try to take pictures with the dog. He's very open. So thank you all again for joining us today.
I know you want the down. Down. Yes. Out. Parlay. 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 No. Parlay. Yes.